Greetings and salutations, my brother from another mother. Welcome back to another audio commentary by your boy Wings of Redemption. I got a little shit on my mind and I want something to say. I was reading the PKA subreddit the other day. It's something I do from time to time. I don't actually have a Reddit account, so can't really respond back. But every now and then I see some dumb shit that gets spread around on the Reddit. And I would like to go ahead and point out this comment and rebut it, because I can't do it on Reddit itself. So I'm going to use the medium that I actually have. My little bit of a voice here on the internets. So here's the comment. Let me read it for you so you guys can understand everything that it says. It goes, "We don't deserve college. It's not a fucking right. Maybe they should make an argument for healthcare, but I'm sick of my peers complaining about college. If you're poor, then fucking work for your education. Get good grades in high school. Give a shit about your future. And earn scholarships. It's not hard. Just put in an ounce of effort. And then on top of that, people who struggle with income can already get help with college. Financial aid is offered in just about every state. And finally, choose proper schools. Why do people graduate into debt? Because they prioritize the wrong things. If you make shit money and can't afford much, don't go to a university immediately. Community colleges are cheaper and can give you the same fucking degree. Stop looking at party universities and deciding you want to go there for the college life. You can complain about how hard it is to succeed when it's up to you to do so." The first thing that I hate about this comment right here is how it makes sure that you're all by yourself in this world. It kind of hammers home the whole idea that you're by yourself, nobody gives a fuck about you, and it should stay that way. Which should be further from the truth. Humans are clan animals. And as clan animals, we like the comfort of each other. We like laying next to each other. We like being around each other, for the most part. Obviously, there are some diseases out there that kind of change this, but that's another story in another day and time. This is what's wrong with everything in America right here. This whole dog eat dog, has to be a shark kind of mentality that this guy's putting across. So let me go and knock some holes into this guy's argument, since he can't put forth 1 ounce of fucking effort into learning about the argument that he thinks he has supreme authority over. Let's call scholarships here for a second. First off, scholarships are not guaranteed. If you have a straight A's in school and you're the valedictorian of a school in Detroit, I doubt there's going to be very few scholarships for you. Scholarships are more programs that are based around areas than anything else, and they're limited in number. They don't just give every kid that did good in high school a scholarship. It doesn't happen that way. I picked a random scholarship. This is the Western Golf Association Evans Scholarship Foundation. It was made in 1896. Here are the requirements to be in this scholarship. All right. Strong caddy record. Applicants must have caddied successfully regularly for a minimum of 2 years and are expected to caddy and work at their sponsor club during the summer when they get their scholarship. Excellent academics. Applicants must be completed their junior year in high school with a B average or above, and college prep courses, and are required to take the ACT. Demonstrated financial need. Applicants must clearly establish the need for financial assistance. Outstanding character. Applicant must have outstanding character, integrity, and leadership skills. So, this is obviously a golf scholarship. It's the first one I found. But to qualify for this scholarship to go to college, you have to be in a caddy as part of the scholarship requirements. You can't be going to jail. You can't have made a mistake as youth. So if you got caught, I don't know, let's say you're drinking in a field with friends, something kids do, and you get caught by the police and you go to jail overnight, you might disqualify yourself for a scholarship after you get straight A's. You know, there's so many things that can go wrong with a scholarship. You can't count on that. How many people have gotten scholarships, then got a D into one of their courses, and then lost the scholarship and had to go ahead and hit financial aid to begin with? Scholarships are not the answer. And the whole idea that colleges are not a right is fucking stupid. At what point do you cut off education being a right? If you want to live in a country where firearms is a right, education and health should be a right too. You should have the ability to get a decent education and actually come out with a career without putting your whole life in crushing poverty and detrimental to the people. You shouldn't have to leave this country and try to run away from bill collectors. If we're going to continue with this system, there needs to be actual accountability things here. Banks should not be able to call you 16 times a day. There should be against the law for automated calling services. There should be everything. I'm like, it's just fucking stupid, dude. I know I'm ranting here at this point. It's stupid that to say that college isn't... What words did he actually use? His words is, we don't deserve college. How the fuck do you determine what somebody deserves or not? How do you determine that? Seriously, you don't deserve college. Well, motherfucker, you don't deserve elementary school. You don't deserve middle school. The reason you want people to get educated, the reason you want people to achieve a higher academic level is because it makes it so there's more skilled labor in the actual workforce. And when there's more skilled labor in the workforce, it makes the whole country better. It makes people know stuff. It gives people ambitions. It creates less depression and less reliance on pills and shit. I understand that every person can't do the same job, and there's also some jobs that people have to pay for that really are never going to pay for themselves. I'm surprised you didn't use that argument in there. It's like, well, don't be like a dolphin masturbate person that, you know, and dolphin masturbation is not a job, but, you know, somebody that does something that's really, really, really niche, like be like a woman child psychologist or something like that, that, you know, I don't know what the pay of that is, but, like, you know, finding a job in that field is probably a lot tougher than finding a job as like an electrician or, you know, even like a standard nurse. But let's continue to go on. And this comment just frustrated me so much. And I've already kind of talked about the comment itself, how most of his arguments are basically straw men. But education should not be fucking $100,000 a year. People shouldn't have compound interest on their fucking loans. Books shouldn't be $190 a fucking book. And if you're forced to pay $190 a book, the professor should be forced to use that fucking book. I'm gonna point that out to you right the fuck now. And one more thing. I'm probably gonna add on to this video right here because I'm ranting now. Let's talk about the tax arguments. I see people downing the tax plan about the rich people work for their money. The rich people work for their money. The majority of people work for their money. From the person that digs ditches to the guy that makes your coffee at McDonald's, everybody works for their money. The reason that we tax the rich more and that we expect the rich to get taxed more is because they're unfairly paying a tax much lower than everybody else right now. In the system that we currently have, poor people and the middle class pay the lion's share of the taxes. For example, 2013, Google, the company to which I get paid through, paid an effective tax rate of 2.6%. They did this through offshore accounts and having money sent through the Bahamas, which has an income tax rate or a federal tax rate of 0%. So Google only paid 2.6% of their total earnings in taxes. While in 2013, I paid something like 28.8% in taxes. So how is that even remotely fair? Tax loopholes need to be closed. Even if you don't raise taxes on rich people, just making rich people pay the same taxes as the poor people would make the whole world so much better. There's so much good that can come from it. Universal health care, free education, better, roads and structures and better lights and, just everything is better. We have to live as a community. That's what I'm getting at. We have to live as a community. And if you're going to tax people to make up a deficit, do you tax the guy that if you tax him at 50%, he's starving to death? Or you tax the guy that might have made, let's give a realistic number. Let's say somebody made $1.5 million this year, and you taxed him at 50%. After he ends up in the 50% tax bracket. So all of a sudden he's $750,000. $750,000 a year is a lot of money. It's more money than most people need. You can pay for your house. You can have a very nice house with that kind of money. You can have a very nice car. Your kids can go to whatever school you want them to go to. You can buy your wife engagement rings. You can go on vacation. All this with that $750,000. And realize that everybody works for the money. The level or how hard you work or how hard you work at something is more about chance and actual need than it is about how hard you work at something. For example, if you work at McDonald's and you spend your entire day, let's say you got to do a truck, you got to unload a truck when you get there, then you got to, I don't know, maybe you're on the fries, so you make some fries, then you sweep the floors, then you clean the lobby, and maybe you got to clean the bathroom. You spend 8 hours, you make $50. And then an investment banker sits down at his fucking desk, makes his $50 in the first half hour he's there, versus your 8 hours. See, that is more of a job position than it is of skill. You know what I'm saying? Because both of the guys work hard for where they're at. Just one person had more opportunity than the other. And that's where if you tax people and you tax corporations, you tax people that make good money, and you give that guy working at McDonald's the same opportunities, not because where he's born, not because of his parents, not because of anything else, you give him the same opportunities, that's when we're going to grow as a nation. Because everybody works for the money for the most part. Sure, there's some people with money that don't work for it at all. Sure, there's people that got money without working for it. But those cases are so small that it's not even worth mentioning in this kind of argument. Because you can't say an investment banker works harder than a guy digs a ditch. A guy digs a ditch works 100 times harder than an investment banker. The only difference between an investment banker and a guy that works hard digging a ditch is schooling. Period. And like I said, it's easier to take away from somebody that has little to no impact on their life than it is to take somebody that's going to make him have to steal to feed his kid. That's what we want to stop. We want the community to grow as a whole. So the people that have the most money in the community should make the biggest contributions to the community. And even if there is a 50% tax bracket in Bernie Sanders' plans, we live in a progressive tax system. What does that mean? It means as you make money, you progressively get taxed more after thresholds. If you make, let's break it down to $100 here. If you make the first $10, you don't get taxed at all. So it's first 10 free. So but from 10 to 30, you get taxed at 10%. So you 10% of your money gets took there. From 30 to like 60, you get taxed at 15%. And then from like 60 to like 80, you get taxed 25, and then from like 80 to 100, you get taxed at 50%. That's how the taxes work. So even if you had a flat tax and you went from 1.5 million to 750,000, it wouldn't be that. It would probably be closer to you'd get 950,000 to a million out of 1.5 million.